If your adult child regularly makes you feel anxious, guilty, or afraid to speak your mind, this video is for you. And I want to say something very clearly right at the start. What I'm speaking to today is not normal family conflict, and you're not overreacting. In fact, many parents tolerate behavior from their adult children that if it came from anyone else, they would never accept it. Today, I am going to walk you through 4 signs your adult child may be behaving in a toxic or emotionally manipulative way. And more importantly, what you can do about it without escalating the conflict or drowning in guilt. This video is inspired by a client I worked with who came to me and said, my adult daughter is being very mean to me, and I don't say anything because I feel guilty about her troubled childhood. Help me release the guilt and be able to speak up and honestly to her. Hi everyone, I'm Esther Bartkiw. For over 21 years, I've been helping people remember who they truly are, their core essence beneath all the noise and layers of this lifetime so that they can live as their real selves and free. If you appreciate personal and spiritual growth content and grounded life advice, please give this video a like. Okay, this is a hard topic, but clarity here can genuinely change your life. First of all, what do I mean by adult child? When I say adult child, I mean someone who is legally and developmentally an adult. They may live independently or partially depend on you, but emotionally, they are no longer a child who needs to be managed, rescued, or absorbed into your nervous system. By law, adult means 18 to 21 years. The person who I mentioned earlier who came to me for assistance was dealing with a 43-year-old daughter, adult child. When you are in a situation dealing with a toxic adult child, one of the most painful parts of this dynamic is everything inside of you tells you to excuse the behavior. You tell yourself they had a hard childhood, they're stressed, they really didn't mean what they said. If I just explain myself better, it will stop. I know deep down that they love me, or maybe I should have been a better parent. And here's the trap. Parental love makes you reinterpret their behavior to soften it, but the behavior of the toxic adult child should be taken at face value. This video is not about blaming you, and it's not about demonizing your child. It's about helping you see patterns clearly without minimizing them and without turning everything back on yourself. Sign number 1 of a toxic adult child is chronic disrespect with zero accountability. This is not an occasional argument. This is a pattern. It may look like eye rolling or mocking when you speak, sarcasm that cuts deeply instead of communication, a tone that they would never use with a boss, colleague, or stranger. You may hear things like, you're too sensitive. You're just imagining things. Well, that never happened. And when you finally bring up the topic or the issue, hopefully calmly and thoughtfully, what happens? Well, there's no repair of the relationship or situation. There's no curiosity from the toxic adult child, no genuine attempt to understand how you feel. And so instead you get from the person defensiveness, minimizing, blame turned back onto you. Healthy adults, even imperfect ones, because no one is perfect, can say, I shouldn't have said that. I can see how that might have hurt you. Toxic dynamics avoid responsibility at all costs, and over time, this erodes your sense of safety. You start doubting yourself, and you start shrinking. Sign number 2, emotional manipulation through guilt. This one is subtle and incredibly powerful. It often sounds like, after everything I've been through, this is how you treat me? If you really loved me, you would ... I guess I just don't matter to you anymore. Notice what's happening here. Your needs are being framed as selfish. Their needs are framed as urgent and morally superior. Slowly, you begin to edit yourself. You walk on eggshells. You avoid certain topics. You silence your truth just to keep the peace. And doing that is not mutual respect. That's emotional control. Sign number 3, it's a one-way relationship. Ask yourself honestly without judgment. Does your adult child reach out only when they want something? Are you expected to be emotionally available, but your boundaries are ignored? Do conversations revolve almost entirely around their problems, their emotions, their needs? In healthy adult relationships, support flows both ways. In toxic ones, the parent becomes a resource, not a person. The toxic adult child looks to you only to provide emotional regulation, money, time, validation. And that imbalance quietly drains you. Sign number 4, punishment when you assert yourself. And this one is very telling because it can look like the silent treatment, sudden emotional distance, explosive anger, threats of cutting you off from them, your grandchildren, other family members. The message underneath is clear. If you don't comply, you lose access to me and to others around me. And that's not communication, that's leverage. And it keeps you trapped in fear, afraid that one wrong move will cost you the relationship entirely. If you find yourself in this situation, here's what does not work. And this part is important. What does not work in toxic dynamics is over-explaining yourself. Relitigating, rehashing the past, begging to be understood, and trying to win the argument. Why? Because toxic dynamics are not solved with better explanations. They are maintained by blurred, uncleared boundaries and by repeating the same emotional roles over and over. As a facilitator of personal and spiritual growth for over 2 decades, I want to offer you a healthier approach, a calmer and steadier way to move forward. Step number 1, when you're talking to the toxic adult child, name the behavior, not the character. You could say something like, I'm willing to talk, but not when I'm being spoken to this way. No labels, no name calling, no diagnoses, just naming the behavior. Number 2, set a simple boundary. You could say something like, if this continues, I'm going to step away. That statement is clear, it's neutral, and non-negotiable. Step number 3, follow through calmly. Conversation with the toxic adult child is best when you are grounded and calm. No arguing, no defending, no justifying. Your energy is what teaches, not the explanations. The toxic adult child can't hear your explanations through all of their internal noise. And here's the hardest truth of all. You cannot control whether your adult child changes, but you can control what you choose to participate in. If this video hit close to home, please hear this. You are not a bad parent for wanting respect. You are not selfish for having boundaries, and you're not alone in this. If you would like support navigating a situation like this with clarity and emotional steadiness. I work with people one-on-one using parts work to help you reclaim your energy, restore inner balance, and move forward without guilt or self-betrayal. There is a link below with my session information. And if we have never worked together before, please reach out via email first so we can connect and discover the best next step for you. My process shines best for people who are able to turn within and receive internal messages, visualizations, knowing, hearing, sensing, and feeling. And if this topic resonates, leave a comment below and let me know if you would like me to do more videos on this topic. Oh, and please watch the video that is appearing on your screen right now. It's a lovely complement to what we've talked about here today.